Fellow traders, 'tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Tuesday, October the 7th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading. Frequency distribution. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. As always, when trading, have your risk management in place. That way you don't lose more than you are willing to lose. I had one of the viewers, traders out there, asked me to talk about frequency distribution and the euro yen in particular. I guess maybe you don't have my frequency distribution indicators, and maybe that's why you wanted, or maybe you just have some questions or just wanted a refresher or a primer on frequency distribution. So, if you don't understand what frequency distribution is, I suggest you Google it. And there's lots of videos. In fact, I've probably done a few that explain it to the detail. But I just wanted to go over a few of the distributions that we have on the euro yen. I used to trade euro yen a lot. One of the reasons, or the main reason, is because during every session it's active. During the Asian session, um, it's getting traded by um, people in Japan, traders in Japan. Well, of course, it's traded around the world, but we got a lot of Asian traders. And then when it switches over to the London session, well, then you have a lot of the Euro traders trading it. And then during the New York session, well, then you've got the Americans trading it. So it gets traded pretty well every hour. In fact, if we switch over to an hourly chart, you can see that, of course, some hours have more action than others, but notice a huge open gap this week, weekly open gap. But you can see it's got some decent ranges there. So the first one, I usually like to use these on the daily frequency distributions. So the first thing is the range. And so if we look over the last 100 days, or trading days, I should say. So we had 100 bars used. And we're looking at high minus low, the range, the full range. So if you come down here, there's the 5 M's of statistics: maximum, minimum, mean, median, and mode. So we had a maximum of 261 pips, minimum of 44. The average or mean is 106. The middle, the median, is 100, or the mode, meaning the most occurrences at that level happen to be 4 at 84 pips of range. So you can see pretty good daily range. And it was over 40, 100% of the time, over 50, 99% of the time, over 60, 92% of the time, over 70, 85% of the time. So once again, nice range. So to me, that's how you determine whether or not a pair is worth your time trading. Now, of course, you can break it down within certain times if you like, or certain days, but for the purposes of this video, we'll just accumulate everything, or just look at everything as opposed to really drilling down to those specifics. So that gives you the range. Now, the next thing, let me just double check something on this chart. Oh, I don't have HL5 loaded. That's okay. The next thing we look at, I think they were asking with reference to the buy zone. So if that's the case, and I hope it is, well, let's start by looking at high minus the open. So how far does it go from the open upward? So greater than 0, 100% of the time. Greater than 10, 94%. Greater than 20, 88. So what does this tell you? This tells you, chances are, if it hits 10 pips, I like to have the buy zone set between 8 and 10 pips. So if it does that 94% of the time, and then out of that, then from there, it'll do 20 or more 88% of the time, it seems like you've got a pretty good chance of making money if you trigger in somewhere around 10. Now, somebody might go, well, why don't you do it at 0? Well, because you don't really have a direction established. And that's why you don't do it at 0. So let's see. Which one of these? Let me switch over to Euro Yen. So here, for today, it went 10. Then you see from there, it actually hit the high. It came back down, hit 10. And you can see right now, let's see, 86, so 14 to the 00, it's up 16 pips. So actually it hit 20, the open plus 20 once again. And then on to the downside, you can see here it never even gave you a short. No short signal. So that just goes to show how that can be profitable. Now, does it work every time? Of course not. And as I state in the beginning of these videos, these videos are for educational purposes only. And you might get different results if you try this tomorrow or the next day. So you can see here, during this stretch, there was some waffling, but there were still opportunities, to take a few pips off the table. And that's what we want to accomplish. Let me put this back to the pound. And so you can see here with the pound, it gave you nothing but short signals. In fact, it even touched the weekly open, bounced back, and then here you go again. Back to the Euro Yen. So that's high minus open. And in case, just to be complete, in case the trader wants to use this as a reference. Now, the question is, how often do I run these? If you're starting out, you should probably do it, say, at the beginning of the week, and that way you could, you could check from week to week to see if these numbers are starting to change in a big way. But once you start to know certain things, like what's the range, does it usually hit 80? Does it usually hit 70? So if you're looking for a reversal trade and it's only at 50, you go, well, you know what? It probably is going to keep going before it reverses. Now, is that always the case? No, but it's something to consider. Oh, I just noticed something here on the daily. man, quite the gap down, and it filled the gap. So here's your open minus low. So in this case, this looks like definitely, it seems like price wants to go up with the euro yen more than down, at least over the last 100 days. So you might want to look at the last 100 or the last 90, or maybe just the last 30 days or 60 days to really, try and hone in. I just picked 100 days just because it's a nice round number, and then these are nice round numbers. But you can adjust the number of days on your, or you might want to, have like almost a year's worth of data. That's up to you. So there's your open minus low. Now, we can also look at for reversals. You want to look at high minus the close. So you can see here for today, high minus close 26, close minus low 31. So, and this is basically going to show you, the movement, the reversal movement. So you can see here, is there really a sweet spot? And it seems like it's going to be greater than 10, 80% of the time, greater than 20, 66% of the time. So somewhere in between 10 and 20, and this is where the rat was developed, even though I used the pound, is what gave me the idea on the rat. You can see here, if you want to reverse, probably a good idea to get in at the high minus close somewhere around 10 and definitely before 20. And to round that out, we want to do the close minus the low. And so you can see here, greater than 10, 95% of the time, greater than 20, 90% of the time. So once again, somewhere between 10 and 20 would be the sweet spot. And then you could also, if you like to do those type of rat reversal trades, you can use the smart rat. And maybe, let's see. There's the rat zone. Oh, no easy way to put the euro yen on here. I don't have the changer. So those are the main frequency distributions that I like to look at. That's like the core. And I really hope this helped. And of course, if you have more questions, feel free to ask. But I mean, you can run all kind of frequency distributions using the pivots, using a moving average, using the fib, tops and bottoms. So if you want to do wick zone statistics and using the previous, open, high, mid, low, close, top, and bottom. Pretty comprehensive. And this particular version is the 2023. I haven't done anything to it since 2023. So that's the version to request if you want to make the donation. So fellow traders, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.